Okay, students, see, last class we discussed some questions and answer. I hope you understood clearly. So, in this class, one last question answer you write. This question was already coming in 2000. I forgot exactly 2018 in final exam. You just write down the question answer. This is very important. How does the excess of inherited members depend upon their excess depend upon their excess specifiers and feasibility modes of the base class. Okay. But how does the excess of inherited members depend upon their excess specifier and the feasibility modes of the base class? And up to this in exam come in 2018 or 19 year, I forgot the year. Up to this, how does the excess specifier? But one extra question was here in the book, that's why I write down. But up to this first portion of the question is very important. Although second portion is also very important, I write down. But in the first portion is was already come in 1 year final exam. But second portion I write down because in next year, suppose second portion of the question and both the portion of the question will be coming. Okay, we don't predict the actual question answer, none. That's why I write both the portion of the question. Okay, both portion will be important. Can private members of the base class be accessed by the derived class? If yes, how? Okay, first of all you have to understand the question. How does the excess of inherited members depend upon their excess specifiers and the feasibility modes of the base class? Okay, means the inherited member which is inherit from the base class, how it is depend upon excess specifier and feasibility mode. Excess specifier and feasibility mode are different concept. Okay, I teach you after this topic the details of feasibility mode. Okay, and don't worry. And second portion, can private members of the base class be accessed by the derived class? Means if one member we define as a private member, it is possible to access that by the derived class. If yes, how? Okay, if yes, then how? How it will be accessed by the? How it will be accessed by the? In private member of the base class will be accessed by the derived class. See. First of all, I write down the answer of this portion, okay, first portion. The excess of the inherited members depends upon two things. One is the access specifier. The access specifier of the base class member, and second one is the visibility mode of a base class the derivation type. Okay, the access of inherited members depend upon two things, means two property. Okay, the access specifier of the base class member and the visibility mode of the base class, the derivation type. Okay, this will be the two different things, access specifier and visibility mode, different concept. Okay, but similar this two, this in access specifier also public private protected, visibility mode also public private protected, but the internal concept was somehow different. Okay, I tell you, and why I teach you the explanation of visibility mode in the later portion, then you will easily understood. You would be easily understood the thing. Okay, write down. I erase this part. You just write down from the beginning serially. I erase this part. Okay, after this you write down. You just write serially in your copy. The access specifier of a class member can be one of three things. One of these three types. Or one of these three. You can also write one of these three or three types, anything. Public, private, protected, right? Only the public and protected members of the base class become directly accessible to derived class. Okay, see what is the meaning of this line. That the access specifier of a class member can be what? One of these three, public, private, protected. Only the public and private, protected members of the base class become directly accessible to derived class. I already told you in earlier when I teach the chapter class and object that when we define public and protected, then you will able to access from the derived class. Okay, but if you specify the private access specifier, you cannot be access the private members. And I hope you write down the notes. You see the notes that private members are not inheritable. Okay, this is the concept. Means if you select the access specifier private, then the inheritance is not possible. Okay, for some reason, actually for some reason, I tell you, for some condition, private member is also okay. Mainly public and protected access specifier are used in inheritance. Okay, private members are not inheritable. Just you simply noted that thing. Okay, so the private member are accessible by some specific condition. You no need to be studied that thing. Okay, private member are accessible by some special operations. Okay, if the visibility mode of the base class is public, that is, if the base class has been publicly derived, then the public and protected members of the base class remain public and protected in the derived class. Okay, I erase this part. This is the first part. You see, if the visibility mode of the base class is public, that is, if the base class has been publicly derived, then the public and protected members of the base class remain public and protected in the derived class, but not private, because private members are not inheritable. Okay, this is the property or inheritance. Visibility mode concept you will be clearly understood when I teach you the visibility mode topic after that question. But actually in this year, one question coming explain the visibility mode of C++ in inheritance for 4 or 5 marks. That's why I will write down. I will explain you the whole topic of visibility mode after later part. In the later after that question, you see, just you basically understood this thing that if the visibility mode of the base class is public, means the base class has been. You see the difference. The access specifier of class member, what? Here also public and protected member, and here also public and protected member. Okay. In both the cases, private members are not here. Private members are not inheritable. Means both the condition will be almost similar. You see, but the difference is you understood. When I teach you the visibility mode concept in detail in the later section, okay, You just write down two conditions under this statement. If the feasibility mode of the base class is private, you see. Now the private member is coming. See what is happened if private is coming. Private if the base class has been privately derived then the public and protected members of the base class become private members of the derived class. Okay, you see, first one is if the feasibility mode of base class is public. Okay, if the feasibility mode of base class is private, that is, if the base class has been privately derived, then the public and protected members of the base class become private members of the derived class. Means the derived class member will be private. If your feasibility mode of base class is private, then your base class has been privately derived, and the public and protected members of the base class become private member of the derived class. You clearly understood this concept when I explain you the feasibility mode in the later section. You just simply note down this thing. If the feasibility mode, okay, I write down here. I erase this part, you serially write down. Actually, I will give you a chart in table how private protected public will be in feasibility mode accessed by private member of derived class, public member of derived class, protected member of derived class. Actually, three things are coming in base class: public, private, protected. And for all three feasibility mode, the derived class will be accessed by how it is. If derived class is public to public, private to private, protected to protected. This was a table. Okay, I will give you in the last section of this chapter. The table I give you, okay, in the next class. See, then you easily understood this concept, okay. I know in this theory part written, somehow you will be confused, but don't worry. When you teach you the detail of feasibility mode, you will easily understood the whole concept, okay. Feasibility. If the feasibility mode is protected, means that is, if the base class has been protectedly derived then the public and protected members of the base class become protected members of the derived class. Right? This is the answer for first part of the question. And now write down the second part of the question. This is the question number, section of second. This feasibility mode now base class is protected. First one is public, after private protected. I know this concept is somehow confusing you, but don't worry. When I teach you the feasibility mode topic in details, then you easily understood this topic. Okay, I will give you the chart, the table, how it public private protected will be accessed by the public private of derived class. I give you the whole, give you the whole concept as the see by the diagram. Okay, as a table. I show you the table and diagram. I give you the whole chart. Then you already understood this feasibility mode concept. Okay. And second portion question, what is the question? Can private members of the base class be accessed by the derived class? If yes, how? The answer is yes. You see how it is accessible. The answer is, you write down the answer. Yes, the derived class can access the private members of the base class, but not directly. I already told you, but not directly. Okay, then how it will be accessed? You write down in your copy. The derived class can access them through the inherited member functions of the base class if they are accessing the private members of their original class. You see, means yes, private members will be accessible of the base class by the derived class, but not directly. Okay, the derived class can access them through the inherited, member functions of the base class if they are accessing the private members of their original class. Means if the base class some access specifier will be private, then it will not be directly accessed by the B, the class of derived class. Okay, but it will be accessed by if they are accessing the private members of the original class. Means if this member function will be accessed by this object, this own object. Okay, means suppose some member function data member of class A, suppose I show you in detail. See, suppose this is a class, base class, this is a derived class. Okay, suppose it has a member function int roll number, int character name, void, suppose input, all are private. Okay, then how it will be accessed by this class? How? It is not possible. It is not be inheritable, but it will be accessed by the own class object. Suppose we had defined an object of the own same class, then it will be accessed by the same class object. And in that condition, it will be accessed by through the A to B. Means, you see, the derived class can be accessed them through the inherited member function of the base class if they are accessing the private members of their original class. Original class means this, their own class. Means if the own class will access the own data member function, means this is the data member function of class A, and if class A is object of class A is access the member function, means this will be inherited properties. This will be accessing by the B. Unless it will accessing from the original class, it will not be inherited. First of all, it will be accessing by original class, means own class. Then it will be inherited by this class. Subclass means derived class. Means first of all, this private members will be accessed by original class. After that, it will be inherited by derived class. Okay? This will be a condition of private members. But public and protected, this is not condition. Public and protected, it will be directly inherited by the derived class. Okay? So, in next class, we will done the details of feasibility mode. Then you will easily understand this topic. This topic is very easy. I will give you the chart, the table, the whole concept by the diagram I show you. Okay? For this class, this will be enough. And if you any doubt, you can ask me. Thank you.